Because seemingly, the life of an athlete and the life of an artist shouldn't have any comparisons. But I actually think that there's a lot of comparisons. I think there's things about diligence, putting the hours in. There's patience, there's disappointment, self-doubt, all those things, There's this loneliness, or solitude. Because art is made in solitude. It's only when you think it's finished and you dare to put it out there in the public to test it. That's the scary bit. That's your Olympic final. I'm Devereux Barker. I'm also Dale Barker. So Dale Devereux Barker is my christened name. But I started to use that with my artwork when it came to signing prints. And I guess I was about 21. And I thought, well, what do I sign these prints as? Because previous to that, I was known as Dale Barker. Certainly when I swam, I was just Dale Barker. But then I realised that perhaps the creative side of what I did came from my mother, who was Vilma Devereux. And my parents had the foresight to put the Devereux name still into my name. So I thought, that's the Devereux is the creative bit. So it's a kind of double life in one sense, but I'm quite happy with that. Quite happy to still be Dale Barker the swimmer and Dale Devereux Barker the artist. And some people know that they are the same person, but quite often those two worlds don't meet. It was suggested, why don't you join the local swimming club? This was in Leicester. Gosh, must have been the late 1960s. And there was a healthy swimming club, so we joined that. And there was always a keenness, if you did certain events, you get badges for distances. I think this might still do it. I think aged about 7, was encouraged to enter competition. And it was kind of one width of the pool. So we're looking at about 15 feet or something like that. And went in that, and I won it easily. So then you suddenly get this kind of like, wow, I'm a winner. I remember I got this game, it's quite big for me, quite a big game, like a board game. And you think, wow, this is great, this sport. So you went to more. And I remember from about the age of 7 till 10, I didn't get beat. One of the interesting differences between the two activities is that the swimming activity can be measured. I can say I won that event, and it's non-negotiable, it's fact. Or I did a certain time, and it's measurable. With the arts activity, it's difficult to measure it. I mean, some people are trying to measure it in terms of how many exhibitions you've had or how much you've sold, or how wealthy you are. But in terms of artistic prowess, it is difficult to quantify in that way. Whereas with swimming you can. And that's universal. I did 1 minute for this event. Wow, that's fast. I've never had a history of any other sports. So I get to the pool, realising that there's something about being in that element which is fundamental to me. One of the big things when I decided to wind things down was the realisation that I'm doing as much as I can. I can't see any spaces to add more. Can't swim any more training sessions and do gym work. And the quickest I've got was something like 14th fastest junior in the country, which is great. But I couldn't see how to get from number 14 to number 1 or 2. I just couldn't. It's like if you're tweaking a car, it's only can go so fast. I couldn't make the chassis go anymore. And I'd started to, as part of this residency, I made a suite of 8 kind of tiny liner cut prints to do with swimming. And they were exhibited. And they had fantastic acclaim, both commercially, sold a lot, and there were some reviews of them. And I wondered, well, why are people going crazy about these pictures and not these other ones? And then it struck me that it was because I knew the subject. I didn't have to study how the freestyle is done, because I'd swum 10,000 miles of it, you know. So, and these images were locked in my brain. I'd seen them all my life. I think there is a desire in me to communicate with people, even though the manufacture of the work is done in solitude. I do like connecting with people. In the same way, I like to swim with other people. I'd love to have my own pool, but even if I had my own pool, I'd invite people over to train with, because it's a shared experience.